Welcome to podcasts recorded live at the Center for Spiritual Living in Portland, Oregon. We have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center and its video podcasts, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.
Good morning, good morning. Yeah, let's do it. Take a look at the person next to you. Say God loved you and I love you too.
I love you too.
Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Now look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
Take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 We come together
In the name of love. We come together.
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 We come together in the name of love.
We come together.
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 We come together
In the
name of love.
we come together.
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 Come together
In the
name of love.
Indeed, we come together in the name of love. Welcome, everyone, and grand rising. Good morning. Welcome to the Portland Center for Spiritual Living and to our celebration service. We are a Science of Mind community that teaches spiritual principles to transform your life and to make the world a better place. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here, as well as how you arrive, whether in person, online, or viewing after the service. All are indeed welcome. And all that we ask is that you stay open to the possibility of changing your entire life simply by changing your mind. My name is Catherine Richer. I serve as one of the licensed practitioners on the center's ecclesiastical team, and it is indeed my honor to welcome you. If you are new to the center, joining us in person, there are welcome packets available on the table located in the back of the sanctuary. This one just happens to have Don Miguel Ruiz on the front. It contains information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. For our global audience, I invite you to find out more about us on our website at cslportland.org. Under the About Us menu tab, you'll find a lot of information about who we are, what we stand for, and how we might serve you. The website also gives details about the many various activities at the center. And I'm going to highlight a few of them right now. Everyone is actually invited to visit the website where you can sign up to receive a number of different email subscriptions. On the home page, you simply scroll down on the right-hand side, and there's a space to sign up. Options include a weekly email listing of our events and services, our free program called 365 Earnest Homes, where you receive a daily Ernest Holmes affirmation sent directly to your email inbox. They feature a lovely background and some reflective material, presented by Reverend Larry. It's nice to have a reminder in your email every morning in case you forget to open your daily meditations. You can also enter your birthday to receive an e-card and a gift on your birthday. And you have to sign up in order to find out what that gift is on your birthday, but it's a good one, I assure you. So several things I'd like to highlight here. Our Sunday service is in person once again here at the center and also on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. Our services are also presented on YouTube and on podcast. We have Wednesday night meditations every Wednesday. What do you know? Wednesday night meditations on Wednesday. What do you know? And guess where they are? On Zoom at 7 o'clock. And this week, our licensed practitioner, Kate Barrett, is leading the meditation on Now Our Minds Are One. The following Wednesday, November 24th, we'll be having our gratitude service. And we're naming it Voices of Gratitude. So this is our annual Thanksgiving evening service that celebrates the completion of our fall connection circles and begins the Thanksgiving holiday. Everyone will have a chance to share their gratitude for this year and beyond. We will be on Zoom teleconferencing to bring everyone together, and that link is on our website. You can have lunch with Friday on Zoom at 11:30. Lunch is, of course, optional, and all of these times are Pacific time. Wherever you are in the world, that's your reference that this is Pacific time. We do have online Zoom groups for the Social Justice Book Club and our 12-step program for women, facilitated by licensed practitioner Nancy Ashley. And I'd like to invite now our own Radiant Reverend Marilyn to talk about our educational offerings.
Thank you, Radiant Reverend Catherine. Yes. Good morning, everyone. And yes, we've already planned winter term 2022 for our education sacred study opportunities. So I'm here to share those with you. It's not too early to plan. We're already receiving reservations and registrations. So I encourage you, maybe Santa Claus might like to invest in sacred study. So first, launching January. What better way to start than setting intentions? And the very first Saturday, January 8th, oops, I need to put my glasses on. January 8th. It's a full-day workshop that I'm facilitating 9 to 3, and it's called Intentions, Empowering My Best Self. So you're encouraged to join us on Zoom, and this is where we set intentions for the full year in 8 specific life categories. So Empowering My Best Self, that launches January 8th on Saturday, 9 to 3. Then we have 2 certificated classes that help individuals prepare for prerequisites to practitioner training, or if you're not interested at this time, you're not even thinking about becoming a practitioner, that's okay, you're still welcome. All are welcome. And so the first certificated class that launches in the winter term is Exploring Roots. Here's where you'll meet the fabulous Thomas Troward, Emma Curtis Hopkins, and Ralph Waldo Emerson. How could I forget Ralph Waldo Emerson? And licensed practitioner emerita Kate Barrett is facilitating that class. It is on Tuesday evenings. It's a 10-week class. It begins January 11th. So again, early start for 2022, January classes. The next certificated class starts in February. It's Journey of the Soul. It's a brand new course that Centers for Spiritual Living has released. I'm facilitating that class. It's a six-week class, Thursday evenings, and it starts February 3rd. And in this class, you'll have the opportunity to explore and spend time with your authentic self, and that self is a capital S. And then we have our esteemed licensed practitioner, Nancy Ashley, who is facilitating a half-day workshop. See, you have many options, half-day, full day, 10 weeks, 6 weeks. You get to choose. And it's called the T word. And this is where Nancy is bringing to us tithing within the context of the law of circulation and the law of giving and receiving. It is a spiritual practice. That's a half-day workshop on a Saturday on February 19th. And then we round out winter 2022 with a specific course that Reverend Larry designed. And I have a personal passion for this class. It's called Hermetics, Ancient Wisdom for the Modern Life. It is the class that sparked my sacred study journey. And it was offered in winter of 2011. And so we're bringing it back. It's super exciting. If you're familiar with the law of attraction, guess what? There's 6 more laws, and so don't miss out. Join. Reverend Larry. Well, that's what got me registered, was because I knew the law of attraction, and I was like, I'm missing out on 6 more laws. I need to learn these. And it just started a sacred study journey that continues and continues and continues. And so I'm super excited about it. It's Hermetics, Ancient Wisdom for a Modern Life. It is on Monday evenings, and it starts February 21st, and it takes us to March 21st. And that is winter sacred study opportunities. We look forward to welcoming you in our virtual classroom. Know that it is a sacred sanctuary, and it's a safe place for all of us to continue our sacred study growth.
Thank you, Reverend Marilyn. Inspiring indeed. And it is helpful to have a structure for our spiritual practice to lead us into deeper truths and understandings about life and ourselves and Source. So that would be an awfully nice gift for you in the winter. We already have started the Fall Connection Circles, but it is not too late to sign up and get connected if you're still interested. We do have openings on Wednesday afternoon, Thursday afternoon, and Friday mornings. They are virtual, so you can participate in them wherever you are, and they are a wonderful way of going deeper in the Sunday message with like-minded people on an informal basis over Zoom. And you can sign up on our website at cslportland.org. Our flowers and also beautifully lit lotus flower are from Kat Jacobs. And thank you so much again, Kat, for lighting up our stage with flowers and beauty. Thank you. Today, our special music is provided by our wonderful and lovely guest, Steele. Welcome. So happy to have you. And features, of course, our fabulous Friends Band. Another round of applause. And so today's message, Staying on Course, is by our own Reverend Larry King. Applauding as well. We're so happy to be here. So sit back and relax wherever you are, wherever you find yourself in your seat, because I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, and the message is exactly what your heart came to receive.
It is not I, but the Spirit within, who does these things. I see before me. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory
the Spirit within, who does these things I see before me. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God. It is not I, but the Spirit within, who does these things I see before me. It is not I, but the Spirit within. Oh, glory to God. Oh, glory to God.
So, how very grateful I am to stand in this present moment, evoking the presence of Spirit, of Source, of life itself, into this sacred container of the celebration service, where everything is an individualized expression of that one thing, that one and only thing that is going on all of the time, everywhere, expressing itself in, through, and as all of creation. Every speck of creation is that very power, that very presence, that infinite intelligence. From all of the spinning galaxies and stars and planets, this precious earth and all upon and within it, and me, and everyone within the sound of my voice, all individualized and unique, perfect and necessary expressions of Source. And knowing this to be the truth, I speak my word for and about this service, knowing that it is a container of high consciousness. It is a place of exploration of the depth of Source within us and around us, that it is supported and imbued by the presence of everyone here, the musicians, Reverend Larry's message, all of the technology in right and perfect place for a beautiful unfoldment of hearts and souls into the knowledge and the truth of alignment with Spirit, in knowing that our dedication and our devotion to our vision is that allows us to stay on course for our dreams to unfold, just like the planets are on their course around their source, the sun. A rededication of ourselves to that alignment with the sun, to stay on course, so that our lives are even more than we had imagined, and yet we remain open to that infinite potential which life is. And so with gratitude and deep conviction of faith grounded in the knowing of the truth, I release my word into the divine law, the cosmic womb of infinite potential, and that place of love that always, always says, yes, my beloved, and you are my beloved. It is indeed already done. I simply let it be. I allow it to be. And we say together, and so it is. And I invite you in the moments of meditation now to steep in this present moment with an open heart and open consciousness for this beautiful message.
The weather, the waves, the cliffs, the caves, the mountains, changing every day. The seasons, the clouds, the stars come out each night in a slightly different way. Oh, do I know? Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun. Watching the world spin beyond my control. Constant is my soul. Vision, hope, the life I've known could be gone. Everything changes by the day. The aches, the pain, the dreams down the drain. Again, leaving darkness in their way. Oh, what do I see? Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun. Watching the world spin beyond my control. Constant is my soul. Why do I fear another new beginning when I already know each ending is coming in perfect time and way? Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. A mystery ends and another begun. Constant is my soul, constant is the sun, constant is the love of the one. I can feel my heart beating like a drum. One mystery ends and another's begun. Watching the world spin beyond my control. Constant is my soul. Constant is my soul. Constant is my soul. Constant is my soul.
Wow, I don't thought I've heard every possible song from some of these artists ever, but you surprised me. That was beautiful. Wow. Happy Sunday, everyone. So glad you're joining us today. I want to start with a sad story. I know you're thinking, Larry never starts with a sad story, but I do today. And it's a story that I think you might relate to. I think that all of us might relate to it in a way. It's a story of when you have your heart set on something, whether it's a certain job or a certain kind of relationship, whether it's a story involving maybe family members or a story involving something in your career or a hobby, and you work towards it, you visualize that you have what we call in the science of mind a good mental equivalent of what it should be, how it should look, how it should feel. You picture yourself in it. You're doing everything that's right, and it feels elusive to you. It's like it just doesn't come together. You feel like all the elements are just kind of right on the other side of the door, but the door won't open. And so far, it's not even really the sad story. The sad story is when I hear these words, I guess it just wasn't meant to be. I think that's the sad story. I think that's somehow wanting to, kind of shift the responsibility off of our own mental equivalent, off of our own gumption, and somehow pawn it off on Spirit, as though Spirit would want anything less than perfection for you, as though Spirit should somehow have some secret plan that you're not going to like very much, but you have to put up with. That is not what we believe in the science of mind. We believe that you have the ability to have what you want, what you need, what delights you. We know that law of attraction that Reverend Marilyn talked about a few minutes ago, we know that it works. We know that what is in our heart and on our mind, that mental equivalent is attracting to us the good life, that which we desire, the lovely relationships, the fruitful jobs, the ways of being in the world that make our hearts sing. We know that is true. And so really the only sad story here is when we give up on our dream too soon. And so what I'm talking about today is staying on the course. We've been using the Prosperous Heart, Julia Cameron's book on prosperity, and her thesis is, and I think it's a wonderful one, that when we persist in our dreams, we will have our dreams. And so today, it's about that idea of persistence. And she talks about really three areas where if we pay attention, we will work through that block. We will work through that area where it feels like we're stuck, where we're tempted to give up. If we pay attention to these three areas, she says it's smooth sailing. Well, I don't always know about the smooth sailing, but I do know and have had personal experience with all three of these areas that I want to share with you. The first area is other people. Have you noticed that other people, sometimes the people closest to us, do not share our dreams? and although I would never say that a loved one, is a block to happiness, I would say that sometimes the people closest to us do not understand our goals. Maybe don't even understand what's important to us. And so I would fall back on a very wise gentleman called Wayne Dyer, and in one of his books, I think he coined this phrase, not this sentiment, it's been around for a long time, but I think he coined the phrase, what other people think of me is none of my business. And I would offer that up as the solution to this problem, because people are always offering me advice, and I bet I'm not alone in that. Other people always they feel the right to give input into how you should live your life, what your goals are. I remember when I was 5 years old, I got sent home with a note from preschool not living up to his potential, right? In preschool, for gosh sakes. What kind of potential I guess infinite potential a 5-year-old has. So yeah, I wasn't living up to my infinite potential. But honestly, what other people think of you, it's none of your business. And in fact, when you make it your business, when you try to please other people, when you try to think that other people have some, something going on in your life that you have to change yourself, in order to match or in order to conform. I think it's the recipe for disaster perfectly, honestly. I think the more we tend to want to please other people, the less likely we are to please ourselves. And when we go about being displeased, right, we're not going to please anybody. And so one of the keys, I think, to staying on course is just to realize it's your course. It's not your spouse's course. Now, hopefully, you and your spouse have courses that are similar, that are headed in roughly the right direction, right? Our friends, our family, of course, we make up our circles of influence and connection, and roughly we want to have similar values. We want to be headed in the same direction. But the course itself is going to be different, and we need to make allowances for those that are close of us to have different ideals and different values, and we have the right to expect the freedom to express our differences as well. And when you find yourself modifying your behaviors, when you begin questioning what's important to you based on someone else's feedback, I just think it's the road to anxiety. Last week we talked about the anxious heart versus the prosperous heart. And when you start doing for others instead of yourself, it makes the anxious heart. Is everyone familiar with the term walking on eggshells? It's when you're with someone and you're always like, what are they thinking? What are they going to say? What should happen if I do this? Will they respond in that way? I think you know that's no way to live. That's no way to be. That is what happens when we start paying attention more to other people's goals and values than what is true and good for us. So that's the first concern, and the first tip for staying on course is it is your course. And it is okay if your course is different than everybody else's. It's yours. Take pride in it. Don't hide it. Believe in it. Strengthen it. Go with it. If it is right for you, ultimately it is right for the people around you. The second thing that she talks about in this book, and so of course you know we're headed into a joke, and I always try my jokes out on my loved ones, and I have to say this one only batted about 50%. One person said, "Oh, that's the funniest joke you've had in a long time," and then Daniel just kind of went like this. So we'll see. So a man visits a doctor to complain. I'm having trouble getting to all the things around the house that I used to do. I don't seem to be motivated to take any exercise either. Just getting up off the sofa these days seems harder than it used to be, and the work is just stacking up. Well, the doctor says, let's order some tests. We'll get to the bottom of this. Well, the following week, after some blood tests and stamina tests and activity tests, a whole variety of things, he's back to the doctor. And he says, "Doc, I can take it. Tell me in plain English what's wrong with me." "Well," said the doctor, "there's really nothing physically wrong. So, in plain English, I guess I'd say you're getting lazy." "Well, okay," said the man. I guess I can live with that. But isn't there a more medical term that I can use with my wife? See, I'm batting 50%. I knew it. Oh, well. And I hesitate to say this too, but sometimes staying on course is a question of activity level. Have you grown complacent? Have you started out on some new project, some new way of being, something that was really exciting and you felt driven and you took the first few steps and things were going okay, and then, I don't know, maybe you woke up one day and just felt a little tired, and then that day moved into another day and you thought, well, I can work some more on this next week when I'll have more time. And then next week came around and you actually were sick that week. And so you put that, and you see where I'm going with this? Suddenly, something that seemed so bright, so important, so luscious, a true mental equivalent that you were looking forward to, maybe a breakthrough in a job or in a hobby, maybe some investment that you were going to make to your education or a relationship, and suddenly, 3 weeks later, what happened to it? Now, I don't know that I would go so far as to call it laziness, but I would go so far as to say it's not staying true to yourself. If something was important to you, it doesn't just evaporate. In fact, I would say that's one of the ways you can tell when something is important or not. If you wake up 24 hours later and it's like, what was I even thinking? It probably wasn't that important. I'm talking about something, though, that could be life-changing, something that you've wanted to do all your life, something that you would be willing to make an investment in, but it is simply the daily grind that wears away at you. Something that, the phone rings and suddenly you're off doing something else. This requires discipline on your part. And maybe that's not so much laziness as it is stick-to-itiveness. Do you have the gumption, as my grandma would say? There's a word that's showing my age, right? Most people probably don't even know what gumption means anymore. But do you have the moxie? Do you have the strong desire to keep moving forward? Because I think that's really all it takes. You need to be able to, when you pick up the phone and someone asks you to do something, you need to be able to look yourself in the eye and say, wait a minute. If I do this, is it taking away from my dream? If I do this other thing, if I just sleep in today and blow the day off, what happened to my commitment? This is important to me. I will follow through with it. I will schedule some time. I will maybe make a to-do list around it. I will have some milestones to look forward to. I will manage it as though it were in a project that's important to me because it is important to me. My dream is important to me. That mental equivalent that I signed up for, the better life, the good life, the better job, the improved relationship, the beautiful home remodel, whatever it is, it's important to me. And it's worth my energy. The last thing about stick-to-itiveness, I think, is no more than the refreshing of that mental equivalent. Have you noticed that sometimes our dreams actually do get stale? That we've had a dream for so long, a persistent idea of how life might be, a persistent idea of what a better relationship could be, a persistent idea of what retirement or going back to school or whatever it might be. And simply with time, it seems to fade a little bit. It seems to move into the background. Maybe it's something that you've always wanted to do. Maybe you wanted to take up playing a musical instrument or painting or something like that. And it's like you buy the materials, you get ready, you have an idea of moving forward, and it just seems like the passing of every day. Instead of that thing, that way of being, that good life, instead of it getting closer, it seems like with every passing day, it just gets a little more remote. I think that with all things, there can be a staleness with relationships, with our jobs, even when the things we're involved with and the people that we're involved with are the right things. Even though they fit our idea of what is good and is right, over time we begin taking them for granted. Over time we begin just drifting away from our true dream of love and light and joy. And I would suggest to you we can take some steps around that, some steps that might surprise you. some steps that are pretty straightforward, in fact. And I'll use an example from my own life. Some of you know that a few years ago, my partner Daniel and I gave up our beach house. And we did it for all the right reasons. Believe me, it needed a lot of repair. It was right on the Oregon coast. The roof blew off one year. It was kind of a constant headache. We did absolutely the right thing financially and otherwise when we sold that beach house. But I got to tell you, one of my dreams is someday to live at the beach again. One of my dreams, and I see myself, it's part of several of my mental equivalents, I'm at the beach. And so this last year we had this idea, this dream, Daniel and I, that maybe it would be time to start looking at doing that again. And of course we started out in the most simple kind of way, just talking about it. I think Daniel signed up for Zillow and plugged in some beach communities, and so they were, emailing him different houses down at the beach. And often when I would get home on Sunday from being here, he would have some of them on the computer screen to look at, right? And it was more a dream, but what I realized is, of course, what were we doing? We were building a mental equivalent of what it would be like to be at the beach again. And so we started talking about it, and one day we even called a realtor. One of the homes looked so attractive and strangely affordable that we thought, well, we'll call the realtor and just ask about it. Well, that house had sold, but of course, now we have a realtor on our side, right? And she was telling us about how difficult things were right now, that so many people have learned they can work from home, and who wouldn't want to work from home where? At the beach, right? So she said the inventory is way down and the prices are way up. And of course, she's a realtor, right? But what she's doing is talking us out of being down at the beach. But there was something about the dream that Daniel and I had. And one day, he just blurted out, why don't we build our own house? Who cares what the inventory is like down there? Who cares what home prices are down there? Could we build our own? And so that began a new avenue of persistence, of staying on course for this dream. And so then, of course, we need to find some property. And I'm not going to go on with this story to any greater length, although we are in the process now of hiring a contractor to build our dream house. But I do want to tell you about the lot. So we found a perfect lot in Walport, Oregon, and we went down there and we saw it, and it was great, and we were getting ready to call the realtor about making an offer on it. And so we were down on Saturday and Sunday. So we come back, and on Monday I'm getting ready to call the realtor. And guess what happens? Daniel had marked this lot on Zillow, and so Zillow emailed him the notification that had been reduced $40,000. Now, do you need a better sign than that, right? If there was any doubt, he just got an email literally the morning, we're going to call the realtor, that it's $40,000 less. So we call the realtor, so excited, we'll make the full price offer it sold. It had been sold literally the day, we were literally like minutes late, right? They had got an offer that same day as soon as it went on sale. Now, you might think that Daniel and I then would be in that, I guess it just wasn't meant to be framework, right? If you do, you don't know us very well. We weren't daunted at all. It still seemed like the perfect sign that we were headed in the right direction. We took it as encouragement rather than discouragement. And so we made some other appointments to go and look at other properties and things like that. And you know what? 3 weeks later, we got another note from Zillow on that same piece of property that had sold. And so I just assumed it was a mistake, right? The silly realtor forgot to show that it was off market. And so we called the real estate agency, and they said, oh yeah, it's just a silly mistake. It's sold. People keep calling about it, but I know it's sold. It was a great price too, a great lot. We probably have 4 or 5 different calls a week on that one, but it's sold. 2 weeks later, Zillow is still like sending him notes about this one house. And I think to myself, I'm going to call the agent myself. I'm not going to call the agency that she works for. Here her cell phone is actually on the sign in the yard. And that sign is still up, by the way. I had someone in Walport drive by. No, the sign is still there, and here's her phone number. I call her, and she said, I don't know what's going on with the real estate agency that I work for, but yeah, that house is still for sale. Would you like, or that lot is still for sale. Would you like to buy it? And so what I know as the proud owner, the lot just closed 2 weeks ago, of the lot in Walport that we had our heart set on, is that you don't give up. Is that when you have a mental equivalent that's lovely and true, you stick with it. Now, you'll notice, though, when Daniel and I were first disappointed, we didn't say it was that or nothing, right? We were still open to look at other lots. We were still open to the dream, even if the dream was a little different. Now, in this particular case, we got exactly what we had originally wanted, but we were open to other alternatives as well. We didn't give the universe an ultimatum. It has to be me and my humanness exactly like this. We were willing to see that there was some wiggle room there. Let me recap what we've talked about today. We've talked about not paying so much attention to other people. If we want to stay the course for our dream, it has to be our dream. We talked about the idea of not letting go of that dream, despite what presents itself to us. We're not going to fold. We're not going to look back. We're not going to think somehow, well, it just wasn't meant to be. You get to decide what is meant to be. There is good for you, and you shall have it. Your dream is your dream. It does, however, require stick-to-itiveness. Remember the joke about laziness. There can be a kind of a laziness about our dream. If it seems a little bit elusive, sometimes we can get tired. Sometimes we can just see it on the back burner. If you bring it to the front burner, if you put energy and activity in it, if you keep it alive, and that was the third piece of this that we talked about. We have to give our own life to our dream. We have to be persistent. We have to be willing to see it through. And when we do those three things, when we keep the mission alive, when we stay on course, truly, our good will be ours. I want to share a reading with you that I haven't read in a long time. It's something that we often read in January when we talk about setting intentions for the year, but I think this fits in perfectly in lieu of a closing prayer today. It's called The Moments of High Resolve by Howard Thurman. He says, "Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. Despite the dullness and barrenness of the days that may pass, if I search with due diligence, I can always find a deposit left by former radiance." I had forgotten. At the time, it was full-orbed, it was glorious, it was resplendent, and I was sure that I would never forget. In the moment of its fullness, I was sure that it would illuminate my path for the rest of my entire journey, but I had forgotten how easy it is simply to forget. There was no attempt to betray what seemed so sure at the time. My response was whole, it was clean, it was authentic, but little by little, there crept into my life the dust and the grit of the journey. details, low-level demands, all kinds of cross currents. Nothing momentous, nothing overwhelming, nothing flagrant, just life's wear and tear. If there had been a direct challenge to my dream, a clear-cut issue, I would have fought it to the end and beyond. And so, in the quietness of this place and surrounded by the all-pervading presence of God, my heart whispers, keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve, that in fair weather or in foul, in good times or in tempests, in the days when the darkness and the foe are nameless or familiar, I may not forget that to which my life is committed. Keep fresh before me the moments of my high resolve. And so it is. Thank you for being here today. So glad you've joined us today. Now is our time of conscious contribution. If you'd like to take your gift in your hand, I know those of you online are going to cslportland.org/donate. If you'd like, just hold your gift to your heart and repeat after me. Graciously I give. From a place of love. Knowing that as I give, so do I richly receive. Would the ushers please begin receiving the gifts?
More than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more, much more than enough, more than enough. I am more than enough. I have more than enough. There is more than enough, more, much more than enough, 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 more, much more than enough, more, much more than enough. Let it be easy. I'm gonna let it be easy. I'm gonna make the choice every day to trust my voice and let it be easy. I used to run around, beat myself to the ground. I thought this was the way to be. I thought that true success was having so much stress, till I heard a voice calling to me, saying, let it be easy, let it be easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice, let it be that I see the light. I won't work day and night. I vow to take good care of me. Don't need to run a race. I'm choosing ease and grace, enjoying the ride effortlessly. Let it be easy. Every day I'm easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice. Let it be easy. I'm gonna let it be easy. Let it be easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice. Let it be easy. And I get the job done. Easy when I'm having fun. Easy every day. Easy, it's the only way. Easy, let it be easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice. Let it be easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice. Let it be easy. I'm gonna make a choice to trust my voice. Let it be easy.
Yeah, come on up. May bless the gifts today. On behalf of the Portland Center for Spiritual Living, I receive these gifts with great love. I know that our vision of a world that works for everyone, our mission of personal empowerment, I know that as we pay our bills, as we make gifts to other nonprofits, this circle of love expands in the world. I let it be, and so it is. So just a couple quick reminders before we send you off on this lovely Sunday. We are here to support you in prayer, and we've devised this wonderful, nearly magical system of doing it during these strange days. If you go to our website, cslportland.org, at the bottom of every single one of our web pages, there's a link that says, make a prayer request. If you fill that in and send it off, it automatically gets emailed to all of our licensed practitioners and ministers. It's truly our pleasure to pray for you throughout the week. Also, if you happen to be here in person, we have prayer request cards on the back table there where it says Ministry of Prayer, and we invite you to take advantage of that. It is truly our pleasure to support you in that way. But for now, let's stand and do a short benediction. I'm going to put my mask back on so I can get right in the middle of things here. I think you all can still hear me. I'm still working out mask and microphone. Thank you for that, Rick. So I invite you, if you like, just to repeat after me. Something wonderful is flowing through me right now. It is this thing called life Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. And life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, I expect it, and I am it just the way that I am. Please know with me that you are never alone. If at any time during the day or night, if forgetfulness should drop upon you, simply go within and on that altar of the Most High, recognize that you are loved. And in gratitude for this, I let it be, and so it is.
I am love, I am loving, I am love. I am love, I am loving, I am love. It's the truth of who I am. If I forget, Spirit reminds me again. I am love, I am loving, I am love. You are love, you are loving, you are loved. You are love, you are loving, you are loved. It's the truth of who you are. Shine your light, near, yes, near and far. You are love, you are loving, you are loved. We are love, we are loving, we are loved. We are loved, we are loving, we are loved. It's the truth of who we are. Shine our lights, near, yes, near and far. We are loved, we are loving, we are loved. You are love, you are loving, you are loved. I am loved, I am loving, I am
If you happen to be in the Portland, Oregon area, we'd love to have you visit in person. The Portland Center for Spiritual Living is located at 6211 Northeast Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. We have inspirational services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. every Sunday. We also have many programs, classes, and workshops developed just for our online audience. To find out more, go to our website at cslportland.org and look under the Online tab. We have a variety of content dedicated specifically for our online listeners. Our mission is to open hearts, ignite minds, and make a difference. If you'd like to support our center, you can donate online at cslportland.org/donate. Our website is also the place to learn more about what's going on at the center or to contact us. Allow us to become part of your extended spiritual community. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are most welcome at the Center for Spiritual Living.